The current mission is there's a chest freezer in the basement and we need to bring it to the church. Here's the chest freezer. Ooh, it smells.
It smells really bad.
It smells. That's what Harriet warned us about.
There's stuff in here that was in here when I moved. I moved in December. This is October.
Oh, here we go.
Are you filming this?
Sure.
Now I'm glad you can't smell the internet. I wanted you to smell the oregano. I don't want you to smell this fridge.
Someone got the camera.
Oh, hey.
Okay, you gotta go a little higher. This part.
Feels so dangerous to do this.
No longer looks brown.
Just about ready to consider this clean.
I think I'd like to make some apple dehydrating. There's so many apples. If the three of us just got chopping, we could make 18 trays in maybe half an hour. To dehydrate apples, you cut off the butt because it doesn't dehydrate well, and then you cut something fairly thick, like maybe half an inch like that, and like that. And then if there are bad portions, you can just throw them away. Full apple tray. 18 more of these, and we'll be set. Beautiful dehydrated trays of apple.
Decentralized, federated collection of dumpster divers who are recognizing that if they pool, particularly with a big hub like in Persia, that we can create box schemes, right? Like the classic British box scheme where the garden produces all these things and you don't know quite exactly what you're going to get, but you're happy to be involved.
When we found Point A and we saw that blog post, we were like, holy shit, these people are doing this thing. We've been trying to do this for years and we just haven't been able to do it.
I got paid. I got paid for like one box. One box was made and I got paid and it was great. And then I checked in with the person and they were like, we can't use, like 4 steaks, Steve. I don't actually have that much red meat eating capacity.
This is the thing. The bigger it gets, the better the service.
Yeah.
Right? Because they're going to be vegan houses and they're going to be carnivorous houses. But what you really want is you want people to be able to show up in all of the different ways that they can show up. So you want people to be able to come and train with Steve as dumpster divers. Like there are all kinds of people who would do this if it was just made safe and entertaining.
Yeah.
And Steve is the fucking master of safe and entertaining.
I don't know about the first part, but
So far, we've lost an undiscussable number of people.
When my mother was like, telling me to go in the dumpster, right? And I'm like, hey mom, like, why do I always have to go in the dumpster? And my mom says to me, it's cause you're like a monkey. Just get in there and climb around and shit.
We're meeting with the Skull Humans at Leicester Terrace at 11 p.m. and we will decide routes.
I'm pretty excited.
I'm pretty excited.
A little context here. Skull is this bike gang in Boston, and they're amazing dumpster divers. And we were cooking a meal for 400 people, and that requires a lot of food, so I asked the experts for some help. We split into 4 teams, and we each covered different areas of the city. We all started in Davis Square, right around here. Pastry Queen and 3 Speed were on bikes, so they stayed close, right around this area. The other 3 teams had cars. My team went south, down here, to Alston. This is our first real dumpster of the night. We're gonna see what we find. There will be many more.
Dumpster's left.
Tupperware mission complete.
Alston?
Alston we go. This is dumpster number 3 of the night. No luck so far. Let's see what we find here. This looks pretty good. We got a lot of yogurt. Check out this yogurt. Do not play in, on, around, or occupy this container for any purpose. So after we hit that dumpster, I got a call from Pastry Queen who said they had hit a massive haul, too big for them to carry on their bikes. So we drove back to them. Oh my god, oh my god.
Merry summer for Christmas.
Wow. No.
Both of our trailers are also completely full.
Oh my god.
There's also fish in here. There's a big bag of stuff in there that I'm gonna make into bread pudding again. We got banana cream pie filling and like a bunch of cake and cupcakes. We've got bread and pastries.
We've already done it, so we just need to load it up.
Yep.
Try to make some room. There's probably like
Wow, you guys.
Ask for dumpster experts, okay?
Hey, I've just been really proud of all my friends right now.
I know you're
I'm Dumpster Juice McCaldy. Yeah. Dumpster Juice McCaldy.
Those guys, they're so great. Step one, what we're gonna do is let's take all of this food that's on the counters and bring it down onto the ground, and let's just make piles of things that are similar. Put all the meat in a pile, put all the eggs in a pile, put all the fruit in a pile, and once we can see everything, we'll figure out what needs cleaning and consolidating, and we'll go from there. This is insane. That's all meat.
That's a meat pile.
Oh
Should
my
we
god.
name it?
What should we name the meat pile?
Meat pile? What else do you want to name?
So while we were freaking out over that meat pile, Rachel and Mittens were still in the dumpster, somewhere over here-ish.
So here we are at the dumpster. They've got new dumpsters since I was last here. Oh look, a nice box for vegetables to go in. Rind, bone-in, center-cut pork loin chop. How about that? Milk crate in the dumpster? Why would you throw away a good milk crate? Here's what it looks like in here. Bet there's goodies. Yeah! Look at the beautiful flowers. We got eggs, some chips, potatoes, oranges, peppers, and a perfectly nice pumpkin. And some flooring. The end of stop number 1. Lots of things. 5-ish milk crates.
Did you see the meat pile? Oh my god, that's kind of gross.
3Speed found us a meat pile.
Oh, you guys wow.
We got some $20 brisket.
We've got so much food. So much food. Look at this meat pile. And tomatoes, greens, squash, and cucumbers, and carrots. Cooking up dumpster steak. So we already had a ton of food, but there was still one more team, Peaches and Sour Cream, and they had gone all the way out to the fancy suburbs, down through the highway, and then over to this area. And they hadn't come back yet. It was gonna be a long night.
There's a team Peaches and Sour Cream. We got a swing and a miss. We have found a Dunkin' Donuts dumpster.
No way.
Yep.
very happy.
That's a lot of donut holes.
Overloading. So I was really tired and I found some coffee, so yeah.
Alright, tell us, can you get this?
Yeah.
Juice.
Team Peaches and Sour Cream has had a very successful run. We're headed back to the church now.
This is more than we've ever done.
Tonight the kitchen.
I'm afraid.
Tomorrow the entire church.
It was the biggest haul I had ever managed, and I don't know if you could tell by those earlier shots, but I was feeling pretty overwhelmed. We've got so much food, so much food. So I put the camera down and just like cleaned for 3 hours, and then at 4:30 in the morning, we made a food pyramid.
Okay, now do we shout at it? Take a picture.
As I was arranging all that food, half delirious at 4:30 in the morning, a familiar parade of thoughts went through my mind. Just a few hours ago, that food was garbage, and now it was so beautiful. The food itself hadn't changed, but my relationship to it had. Before, it was covered in trash on the side of the street, and now it was artfully arranged for internet broadcast. Same food, different setting. I thought about how, in just a couple of days, that same street corner where we had pulled that giant pile of meat out of the garbage, that same street corner would be transformed into a parade. Same setting. Totally different feeling. The thing that I love the most about HONK is that it creates this space where we're invited, required, actually, to invert the way we look at the world around us. That's not a garbage-filled street. It's a stage covered in the most beautiful foods you could imagine. That's not a traffic obstruction. It's a traffic celebration. HONK asks us to recognize that the labels that we apply to these things, like is it public or is it private, is it food or is it trash, those labels, they don't actually say that much about the things themselves, just about the way that we relate to them. And HONK creates a space where we're allowed to relate to these things differently. The world can be a scary place, full of waste and pain, but moments like this, half delirious at 4:30 in the morning with a dumpstered food pyramid, they give me hope. These moments remind me that I can make the world a better place, just by inverting my perspective.
4 a.m. now?
4:30.
4:30. Been up all night. This is what we have to show for it.
We'll sleep eventually. Tomorrow.
Sleep tomorrow. It's already tomorrow. Okay, it's 4:30, almost 5 o'clock. We've cleaned all the food. It is very, very late. I'm exhausted. This episode is over. Well, that was fun. Believe it or not, that was not all of the food that we gathered for the festival. Tomorrow's episode has even more. Stay tuned. If you want to help us continue to bring you stories of communards in dumpsters, then consider heading on over to our Patreon page. For me, the value of HONK, or in this case, a little YouTube video about HONK, it's not in the video or even the festival. The value is in the community of people that forms around those things. So thank you so much to all of our patrons who make telling these stories possible. In the next video, there's going to be a ton of wild mushrooms. I'll see you there. Ha ha ha! Oysters! They're so big! This is gonna feed HONK! This is gonna feed HONK!